Hello, I'm David DeCosmo. This is Preview, Electric City Television's public affairs program. And today we have one of our annual visitors, Laurie Flemming, and joined by one of her associates, Pat Foresman, both to talk about a really great event that you've seen here on ECTV by way of recording, and it is a program called Seniors Got Talent. And this was sort of the brainchild of Laurie Flemming. Well, let's go into that history just a little bit, Laurie, as to how this all got started.
Well, thanks for having us again, Dave. This is our 8th annual. Wow. Yeah, we've been around 8 years now. I want to make it till 10.
Yeah, and you came up with this idea.
Well, we did. We were just talking about May is Older Adult Month. So what could we do to celebrate the older adults in Lackawanna County? So we came up with Seniors Got Talent, and it started at the West Side, back then Senior Center on Jackson Street. We had a packed house. I think I've told you before it was not air conditioned. We had our celebrity judges. We had them out the door. Probably, if I whisper to you, we probably broke fire codes. And then Evie Rafalko McNulty, I cold called her and asked her to help me and emcee it, and she did. And at the end of the show, we decided we had something and we needed to move it. And we did. And since then, it has grown not only financially for United Neighborhood Centers and our older adult program, but it also has grown with participants. Close to 400 people are coming out to see the show.
I'm just a little bit curious as to the origin of the idea. Were you at one of the centers and you heard somebody singing? Were you at one of the centers and you saw somebody doing a little tap dance?
No. What happened was, this used to be down in Luzerne County. They used to do it at Mohegan Sun, and they had stopped doing it. And I just got wind of it. And you know who was really involved since the very beginning, and even the one at Mohegan Sun, was Sid Michaels.
Oh, yes, yes,
yeah,
the
and he was
Sid
a
Michaels.
Big supporter of this.
What a great guy. I worked with Sid, of course, when he was in broadcasting at the old Channel 22. And, of course, then he went on to become a state legislator, and unfortunately we lost him a few years back. But he was very involved in the community and in the arts. And I'm afraid that too many of us picture our seniors coming into a center, having lunch, and maybe playing bingo. And that's fine. That's a great event. And some of them, that's a highlight of their life. But on the other hand, it's not the overall, it's not the total picture of A, what is offered, and B, what their interests are.
Right. Correct. And this is our biggest challenge. Is we always now, with Facebook and all that, our little hashtag is more than just bingo. Yes, we have those people that come in and that's what they enjoy doing. Those are those older adults. And they're socially isolated, so they need to come in to have that meal and to be with others and play bingo or hear a lecture. But we also have this new group, these younger, older adults. And they're either, I think you and I have spoken many times about this, they're either still working, or they're taking care of grandchildren now, or they're taking care of an older loved one. So therefore, they can't come during the day. And they don't want to come for the activities that we're offering during the day. So we need to change our whole perception out there. We need to find these older adults, and how do we attract them to come to our centers? So it is a big challenge, not just in Lackawanna County, it's across the state.
Well, this program, Seniors Got Talent, I'm going to hold up this placard about the event. And for those that have not seen any of this, or maybe have been hiding somewhere and haven't even heard much about it, basically we have senior citizens, active older adults in our area. Many of them are from the centers, but I guess they don't have to be from the centers. And they have various talents. There are singers, there are dancers, there are people that tell jokes. I'm probably missing some. And this is literally a contest to find the champion, but also to showcase all of their efforts as they go along. And along that line, Pat Foresman is involved. You are the artistic director,
yes.
Pat. And now, if I remember what Laurie told me in the past, you actually have auditions before you even get to this show.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, we do. This year I was invited to be the artistic director. Historically, I was on the committee, and in 2017 I competed.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And we won the audience vote. And then the following year, I was invited to be part of the second act, which we'll explain, and perform. And then last year, I was in the audience. So I've had a full perspective of how the show works. But yes, the auditions are first. And we are having a banner year. We had 31 people that applied to audition.
Wow.
Oh, and from what I understand, that's historically the most that's ever come out.
Right, and realistically, you can't put on
No.
a program with 31 acts.
No, it would be a 2-day event,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, sure.
So our capacity for performance is 12. So we've got to really narrow it down. But they have just come from everywhere. They've come from Berwick and Kingston and Honesdale. And what's been great about it is, you know, every performance, every person who comes has a very, very different and unique talent. We have a tap dancer, and the decisions on the show haven't been made.
Okay.
The last audition is tonight.
Okay.
And then we, as a group of the 5 judges, we determine who's going to be selected. But it's a wide variety. It's singers and a tap dancer and comic and a gentleman that sings and plays the sax. And I mean, I was quite taken back when I really saw the spectrum of talent of the people that were auditioning.
Now, you've amazed me, because I have to admit that I always thought everybody came from Lackawanna County
Oh, no.
for this.
Because United Neighborhood Centers, we're United Neighborhood Centers of Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's true, yes, yes.
And our marketing, who is backing us with marketing, the word has really spread. So it's wonderful.
Wow, talk about growth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yet some very serious challenges for you.
Yes.
Did you go through the audition process?
Yes, I
when you
did.
were-
Yes.
And what talent did you?
Well, I performed with 2 other ladies. We were called the Follies Girls, and we did a fun number from the old movie Mac and Mabel. And it was the 3 of us, and we were decked out in gold lame, and we auditioned, and we were brought into the show. We were thrilled. We had so much fun, and that was the year that they instituted the audience favorite. Is it all right if I explain that?
Let's explain that.
Well, what happens at intermission, the judges get to take a breath, you know, and what they did was they put a box on the edge of the stage for each of the acts. And it's a 2-fold project, because everyone could pay $1 for 1 vote. Well, if you wanted to vote 20 times for me, you put in $20, you know. So it was a great fundraising effort for United Neighborhood Centers. Plus, the audience got to be a part of the judging.
So there's actually a 2-phase judging. That there's the
Yes.
official judges
Yes.
that say, okay, this is the winner, this is the
Yes.
runner-up.
Yeah.
But then there's also audience
Yes.
favorites, which may or may not coincide with the judges' decision.
Oh, it didn't.
And you know what? Why we instituted that was because, you know, Dave, who you might think should win is different from who I think should win from Pat.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what you like as far as art and talent goes is different from me. It's not bad or good, it's just different.
Sure.
So we would walk out and people would say, I don't know how he won, she should have won, or I don't know how Dave won, Pat should have won. So this way they get that opportunity to have their voice heard by voting.
Yeah, well, you can't give me as an example, because I have not brought my harmonica yet
Oh, okay.
to the show.
Next
But
year.
who knows?
Next year.
Next year.
At any moment, I may show up. Well, you have the auditions, and they run for a period of time.
Yes.
And who does the judging for the auditions?
The auditions judges are myself, and I won't say names. We have someone from the community that was a drama teacher through the years. We have someone from the community that has a tremendous theater background. We have 2 members of our Seniors Got Talent committee. And the one gentleman who's on the committee this year actually participated 2 years ago and came in 3rd. So we have a good cross-section of talent. So we've got a judging from the audience sitting there saying, you know, I think I like that person. And then you have someone with theater experience. I have theater experience. We had community theater in Scranton for 25 years. So we all bring something different to the judging table. Now, the audition judges are different than the show judges.
Yes, I
They can't be
understand
the
that,
same.
right.
So there were 5 of us for the auditions. We have 10 folks left to audition this evening, and then the 5 of us will sit and we'll go over our papers and come up with the 11 or 12. 12 is our capacity.
Okay, yeah, and again, the show is on Sunday, April 26th, 2 p.m.
Yes.
at People's Security Bank Theater, which is in Lackawanna College. What is the admission charge for the show?
It's $15 a person to come to the show. You can get your ticket at the door. You can also get your ticket in advance if you don't want to wait in line by either visiting one of our 4 senior centers that we have, our active older adult community centers. We have one in Carbondale on Church Street. We have one in Jessup, Mid-Valley on Church Street. The South Side Center is on Alder Street, and West Side, which is on Jackson. From 8:30 to 1:30, they can get their tickets. Or if none of those appeal to you, you can go on our website, which is uncnepa.org, and you can get your tickets through that way, online, you can pay. And your final way is to give a call to 570-346-0759, and you can get your tickets that way.
Now, let me indicate to those watching that we will be repeating those addresses and those numbers before the program ends. So you want to have a paper and pencil handy just to jot them down. It would be handy. The show is fantastic. As I say, several of the past performances have been aired right here on Electric City Television after the performance, of course. We don't want to be there during the performance. This is something we want you to come out to. And Laurie, the proceeds from this are very important, are they not?
Correct. They go to support our active older adult program and all of our 4 centers that we operate. And we started a new program. It's called Aging Well, Life at 55 Plus. And that was designed to address those needs of those younger, older adults. So here's an example, Dave. At the Mid-Valley Center in January, we started a new exercise program called Strong, Fit, and Flexible. So using weights, small weights, and especially it's majority of women come, but men are welcome. The first class, we had 21 people show up.
Wow.
Correct. So we are addressing those needs. We have topics with regards to Medicare. Okay, you're 55, you're going to retire soon. What are you going to do? How do you know about the Medicare system? Because people have a lot of misconceptions about the Medicare system. It's not like you get on Medicare and everything's paid for you now. It's a whole different ball game.
Yes.
Then we have programs that will help them with, an elder lawyer will come and speak to them. Like, what are those terms? What does a power of attorney mean, to help you get ready for aging? Because we all need to master our aging. We're all getting there.
Yeah, and fortunately, as we can see, life expectancy is now growing and growing, thanks to modern medicine.
Correct.
And so not only are people living longer, but they are active for the most part a lot longer than they used to be.
Correct, and I just, there's about 210,000 in Lackawanna County, and I just looked up before I came here. 27% of that is age 60 and over. If you throw in age 50 to 59, that percentage comes to 40% of our population is age 50 and older.
Just in Lackawanna County.
This is
Luzerne
Lackawanna
County
County.
Statistics are bound to be pretty close to that.
Absolutely.
I think Wyoming County probably similar. I think this whole Northeastern Pennsylvania corridor,
Correct.
perhaps with the exception of Monroe County, would be pretty much the same along those lines. I want to go back to Pat for just a second because, Pat, you said that you've now been involved in all phases
Yes.
of this. I want you to think back, if you will, to the part where you were participating, where you're going to performing.
Mm-hmm.
What did the opportunity to do this mean to you personally?
Well, to me personally, as I mentioned, from 1979 to 1995, I did theater, local community theater, standing room only in Scranton. And I was a performer. I wrote a musical. I was involved with friends, and we had a big production. Well, then life changes, and I started traveling with my job. So this particular opportunity, I retired, and I heard about it. And I called, and I was on the committee the first year. And then the next year I thought, oh no, I got to be part of this. I've got to be part of this. So I got 2 friends, and we were all 60. I won't tell, but we fit the age bracket.
Right, okay.
And I thought, let's do this. And the number that I did, I had performed with an SRO show called Jerry's Girls, the music of Jerry Herman. And two of the ladies, I said, let's do this. And immediately.
Did you have to talk them into it?
No. A little bit. We were singing together with a senior group called Young at Heart. And going out to the nursing homes and stuff. So I said to the 2 ladies, Mary Lou Rusticus and Mary Dukes, I said, what do you think? You want to be vaudeville girls? And they were like, yeah. So we had so much fun, and the song was hilarious. We had a good time, and it was so fun to be in the show.
That's what I'm looking for, is the feeling of those that see, hey, I've got a chance to do something like this.
Oh yeah, it was great, and it was fun. And for me personally, and it may sound trite, but I didn't care if we won or not, and the girls didn't either. They said, come on, let's have fun. And we just had the best time. We really did.
Yeah.
And then but you could feel the energy in the show, because everybody all sits together and you're waiting for your turn, and everybody's getting really cranked up, and then you hear somebody out there and you're like, yay, that's great. Oh, I'm next. So it's a fun experience. It's just fun from the minute you start till the minute you finish. It really is.
And Laurie, have you seen a difference in those people that want to participate now? Have you seen perhaps people being more and more interested in taking that chance?
Well, this is what has happened. So the first year, we had it at the center, and then the second year, some people, auditioned. And then we were starting to get the same people auditioning. We weren't getting new people. We didn't want the show to get stale. So, we brought in another artistic director to try to change some things up, which we did, which maybe we'll give Pat an opportunity to talk about the second half of the show, because the first half is the audition, or not the auditions, the first half is the competition.
All right.
Where we have these celebrity judges, and they will choose, because you win $500, $300, and $200.
Okay.
And then the audience choice, they usually get a gift certificate for dinner, and then usually we try to secure some tickets to go to a Broadway show here.
Nice
the
rewards.
local one.
Oh yeah.
But so then with our outreach, it has just grown. Some of the original people, they don't audition anymore. They're in the audience. But then also now, it has, like I said, we have Berwick, we have Mahanoy City, we have Scranton, we have Clark Summit,
oh, my word.
We have Kingston. So it's really grown. It's because of our media outreach that really has worked.
Yeah.
So the other thing I just want to comment about, you talked about participants. I have one gentleman who said, Laurie, I will audition every year. I'll never win, but you've given me the opportunity to practice my gift and my talent on a stage that I will never have again. So that alone is like wonderful.
Yeah. Even in the audition process, just getting up and having the opportunity to do what you do, whether you win or not, it's something that you don't normally get a chance to do. And people like yourself who may have touched into some of these things before, rather than just quitting, you can't and leave show business.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I retired in 2009, and I've been sitting at this table ever since.
Well, sure.
So, just to keep my foot in. Now, let's get into this other idea. There's the first act, the first act, whatever you call it, where the competitors get on stage and do their thing, and there is now the second act. What is the second act?
Well, the second act is it's designed to give the judges time to go off and do their judging, but you have to hold the audience's attention. And every year the second act has been something different. And like I said, the year that I was invited to be in the second half of the show, we were spotlighting movie stars and Broadway stars, and I did an act as Ethel Merman.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is Act 2 is straight entertainment. And this year, as I mentioned, our theater group from years ago, Standing Room Only, well, 2 years ago, we got together and had a reunion. We had over 100 people come from all over that had performed. So then there's been a core group of about 15 locally that we've stayed together. We went for dinner. And so I said to them, have I got a deal for you? And they were like, oh no, watch. And I said, we're going to perform together. For us as a group who finished performing in 1995, to have the opportunity to be on stage together as a gang, and as a very talented gang, and we have a lot of surprises. The kind of the theme of the show is the spirit of showbiz.
Okay.
And I don't want to give too much away, but Act 2 is the whole group. And I will say we're going to have an audience sing-along, just like you were on opening night. And then we have performances in Act 2 of highlighting some of the huge Broadway show numbers through the years. And then we'll end up with the gang, with the group singing and another audience sing-along. Because, you know, everyone that comes is a ham. Everybody that sits in that audience,
I'm sure.
they want to be up there.
Well, everybody has some talent.
Well, sure,
It may
exactly.
be one that you perform on stage. It may be one that I'll give you an example. My wife has a spinning wheel. She spins, so she's given demonstrations on how to spin. Me, well, most people have an ability.
You're a good interviewer. But you know what? It's nice because I like to see, as a person, I sat in the audience last year. And it's fun because then the audience feels more a part of it. To me, their experience is a whole, from the time they come in the door till the time that they leave. And to have the standing room only folks, and I have 12, well, let me see, I have 14 committed now from the group. Oh. And we're all just so excited. We're like giddy about it, like, wow, we're going to get to do this again. And then, you know, then we finish up, and then the prizes are awarded, and we have a big finish that I'm not going to tell you.
And practically speaking, it does give the judges time to really assess what they've seen in the competitive factor, because not just, okay, we've seen them now, quick make a judgment.
Yeah, no.
And see, that's, in the past when we first started, that's what we did. They had a number sheet and they would score it in that way. And then we thought, that's not fair, because who comes first? They might hold back their points to see what's coming. So then we instituted this time where they could, so they could deliberate and talk about it. So.
Well, I see so much potential for this, and yet you really can't expand very much more in terms of what you're doing, unless you do other shows, or maybe you take those that didn't make the show and do a whole separate show at the various centers, you know, with them offering their abilities and things. And as you say, the diversity of talent is amazing.
And that's what we want for the show. Yes, a majority of who auditions are singers. That's just the natural, when you say a talent show, you think of singers. But I know that the committee and the judges for the auditions are trying to make this a well-rounded show, because people want to see a variety of things. And we have that this year to be able to truly offer that.
I have to say that my wife and I have enjoyed several high school play presentations over the past 2 years. And I am always amazed at the quality of people that we have in the area. And you know, maybe you stop and think back about some of the people from this area that have gone on. I mean, Jack Palance from the Hazelton, from Latimer, the Hazelton area. You know, go way back, Nick Adams, the Rebel on TV, was from Nanticoke. Edie Adams, Ernie Kovac's wife, was from, I believe, Kingston. Yeah. And the lady that played the elderly aunt on Bewitched, I can't think of her name, but she was from West Pittston.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, you know, and of course we just have some talent that have gone really big from this area, and yet others that have certainly demonstrated their abilities, perhaps on a little lesser note than that, but they still have demonstrated their abilities.
One thing for the diversity of the acts is we have as I've seen through the years, we have a real solid audience. You've got people that they've seen all 8 shows.
Oh, yeah.
In the audience, you know, I've got friends that have, you know, they've been coming since I was just on the committee, and then it grows, and you've got the repeat audience members that they come every year. So that's why we have to kind of think, okay, you know, who was in it a year ago? Okay, but who was in it 5 years ago when they came back? So, you know, the audience, I think the audience support, I mean, you're looking 400 plus people every year.
Yeah, and I am thinking about potential of expansion. I'm thinking to myself right now that some of these big television network talent shows, people don't realize they select a winner, but all of those people who were in the finalists and everything, they wind up appearing at various places, maybe as a group. You might see them at the Bloomsburg Fair, as a group. So it doesn't necessarily end there. Maybe you should look for something.
David, I will tell you, 2 years ago, that national talent, they called us. They wanted to know, because they saw our shows and things, and they wanted to know if we had any local people that wanted to come out to California to audition. I kid you not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I thought it was a joke at first, because you never know when you're getting scammed, And so they said, no, call this number, and it was real. It was real. They called us.
Well, Laurie, as we run short on time, I'd like you to give the contact numbers and email address for people who want more information, not only on Seniors Got Talent, but all of the services that are available at these centers.
And that's what I wish they would do. Anybody that's listening that needs services besides coming to the show, or they are isolated in their home and can't get out, call us. We have ways to get you out, and we have a lot of good programs and lunch, so please. And I won't mess up this time. So you can go at any of our centers, one in Carbondale on Church Street, Mid-Valley on Church Street, South Side on Alder Street, and West Side on Jackson Street, 8:30 to 1:30 to get your tickets, $15 a piece. You can call 570-346-0759, and you can get your tickets that way and reserve them. You can get them at the door, or you can go on our website, which is UNCNEPA.org, and you can purchase them online with a credit card.
Well, you're all going to want to go to Seniors Got Talent, April 26th, 2 p.m. at Lackawanna College at the People's Security Bank Theater there. Laurie and Pat, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us
This is
again.
great.
And break a leg.
Break a leg. Break a leg.
I'm David DeCosmo for Preview. Till we see you again next week. Here's hoping all your news is good.